life. It hits different, doesn't it? One moment you're cruising, feeling like you got everything under control, and then bam, out of nowhere, life throws you a curveball that knocks the wind out of you. Maybe it's a lost opportunity, a failed relationship, or a dream that feels just out of reach. But let me tell you something. That moment, the one you're in right now, is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your greatest chapter. See, the reason most people give up when life gets tough is because they don't understand the purpose of the pain. They think the struggle is a sign to stop. But no, the struggle is proof that you're growing, that you're alive, that you're on the verge of something extraordinary. So I'm here to remind you of one thing. If you're going through hell, don't stop. Because what's waiting for you on the other side is worth every tear, every sleepless night, and every ounce of effort you've got. This speech isn't just motivation, it's a roadmap. I'm gonna break down what it takes to push through the hardest moments of your life and come out stronger, better, and more determined than ever. So, don't just sit back and listen, lean in, because by the end of this, you'll not only believe you can get through it, but you'll know how to do it. Pain is inevitable. It's part of the process, part of the journey, and it's something none of us can escape. But here's the truth. Pain isn't there to break you. It's there to build you. Think about it. When you go to the gym, what happens? You push your muscles to the limit. You feel the burn, and it hurts. But that pain, that's growth. That's strength being built. Life works the same way. When you face hardships, setbacks, and struggles, it's not life trying to destroy you, it's life trying to refine you, to make you stronger, tougher, and more prepared for the next level. But here's the catch. Most people run from pain. They avoid it, distract themselves, or give up when it gets uncomfortable. And that's where the difference is made. Those who embrace the pain, those who lean into it and say, this is hard, but I'm not quitting. Those are the ones who come out stronger on the other side. You have to understand, pain is temporary. It doesn't last forever. But the growth, the resilience, and the strength you gain, that's permanent. So when life gets hard and you feel like you can't take another step, remind yourself, this pain has a purpose. It's here to teach you, to mold you, to prepare you. You're not breaking, you're building. Every tear, every ounce of effort, every moment where you want to quit but keep going anyway, that's where your transformation happens. You have to trust the process, even when it hurts. Your why is your anchor. It's the one thing that will keep you steady when life's storms try to knock you down. When everything feels like it's falling apart and you're questioning why you even bother, your why is what will remind you to keep going. Your why is personal. It's the reason you wake up every morning, the reason you keep fighting even when you're tired, and the reason you refuse to quit when things get tough. Think about it. Why'd you start in the first place? What was the dream, the goal, or the vision that got you moving? Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your future. Or maybe it's proving to yourself that you're capable of more. Whatever it is, that why is your fuel. Without it, you're just running on empty. And it's easy to stop when the road gets hard. But here's the thing. Your why isn't just something you think about. It's something you feel. It has to be so strong, so real, and so deep that it pulls you forward even when everything else is telling you to stop. When you're clear about your why, no obstacle, no setback, no challenge can stop you, because the purpose behind your journey is always bigger than the pain in front of you. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're questioning whether to keep going, stop and remind yourself of your why. Reconnect with it. Write it down. Say it out loud. Let it ignite that fire in you again. Because when your why is strong enough, there's nothing life can throw at you that will make you quit. Lure is not the end. It's a stepping stone to your breakthrough. Too often, we treat failure like it's final, like it's a label we're stuck with forever. But failure isn't a dead end, it's a detour. It's life's way of teaching you, redirecting you, and preparing you for what's next. Think about every successful person you admire. Do you know what they all have in common? Failure. Not just once, but over and over again. They didn't succeed because they avoided failure. They succeeded because they didn't stop when they failed. They learned from it. They adapted. They used it as fuel to come back stronger. The truth is, failure is feedback. It's not telling you to quit. It's telling you to adjust, to grow, to look at things from a new perspective. It's a test of how badly you want it. Are you going to let one setback define you, or are you going to use it as a platform to rise even higher? When life knocks you down, it's not the fall that matters, it's how you get back up. Failure isn't a loss unless you refuse to learn from it. So the next time you stumble, remind yourself, this is part of the process. Every failure is a lesson. Every lesson is growth, and every ounce of growth brings you closer to your breakthrough. Don't let failure stop you. Let it shape you. The darkest moments reveal your true character. When everything is falling apart, when the pressure is overwhelming, and when the light at the end of the tunnel seems like it's never coming, that's when the real you shows up. It's not the good days that define you, it's the tough ones. You see, anyone can keep going when things are easy. Anyone can smile when life is handing out blessings. But what about when the blessings stop and you're left with nothing but obstacles? That's when the truth comes out. That's when you find out what you're really made of. The dark moments aren't there to destroy you. They're there to test you, to refine you, to strip away the excuses and distractions and show you your raw, unfiltered strength. Because it's in those moments when you want to give up, when you feel like you can't take another step, when you're at the very edge of your breaking point, that you discover the depth of your resilience. But here's the thing, the darkness doesn't last forever. The storm passes. The struggle eases. And when the light finally returns, you look back and realize that it was in those dark moments that you grew the most, that you became stronger, wiser, and more determined. So if you're in a dark place right now, don't run from it. Face it. Let it shape you. Let it challenge you and let it bring out the best in you. Because when the darkness lifts, you won't just be the same person. You'll be a better version of yourself, forged by the fire of adversity. Discipline over emotion. That's what separates the achievers from the dreamers. Emotions are powerful and they can push you forward, but they're also unpredictable. One day you're motivated, the next day you're not. And if you rely solely on how you feel to determine whether you'll take action, you'll never reach your full potential. Discipline, though, that's where the magic happens. Discipline is the commitment to show up no matter how you feel. It's doing what needs to be done, even when you're tired, even when you're frustrated, and even when the results aren't showing up yet. Discipline says, I don't care if I feel like it or not. This is who I am, and this is what I do. Think about it. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the people you look up to, they're not always motivated. They're human, just like you. But what sets them apart is their ability to stick to the plan even when the emotions fade. They don't wait for inspiration. They create it through consistent action. And here's the truth. The more you practice discipline, the less you'll rely on fleeting motivation. It becomes a habit, a mindset, a way of life. And that's when the real breakthroughs happen. So when life gets hard and your emotions are screaming at you to quit, lean on your discipline. Remember your commitment to the process and trust that showing up day in and day out will take you where you need to go. Every setback has a lesson. Look for the opportunity in the obstacle. When things go wrong, it's easy to get caught up in frustration, anger, or self-pity. But the truth is, every challenge you face carries a message, a hidden opportunity waiting for you to uncover it. The problem is, most people are too focused on the pain to see the purpose. Think about the setbacks you faced in the past. At the moment, they felt unbearable, didn't they? But when you look back now, can you see how they shaped you? How they taught you something you needed to know? Maybe they redirected you to a better path, built your resilience, or forced you to develop skills you never thought you'd need. That's the power of perspective. Life isn't about avoiding obstacles. It's about learning how to navigate them. Every setback is a chance to grow, to evolve, to prove to yourself that you're stronger than you think. So instead of asking, why me, when things go wrong, start asking, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? The answers won't always come right away, and that's okay. Sometimes it takes time for the lesson to reveal itself. But if you stay open, if you choose to see challenges as opportunities, you'll start to realize that nothing in life is wasted, not even the hard parts. Use the obstacles as stepping stones. They're not there to stop you, they're there to elevate you. Gratitude transforms struggle into strength. When life feels overwhelming and the weight of your problems seems unbearable, it's easy to focus on everything that's going wrong. But here's the thing, what you focus on grows. If you only see the pain, the frustration, and the obstacles, that's all you'll experience. Gratitude, though, it shifts everything. Even in your darkest moments, there's something to be thankful for. Maybe it's the lesson hidden in the struggle. Maybe it's the people who stood by you when things got tough. Maybe it's simply the fact that you've made it this far, even when the odds were against you. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the challenges. It means choosing to see the blessings alongside them. When you practice gratitude, something powerful happens. You stop seeing life as something happening to you, and you start seeing it as something happening for you. Gratitude opens your eyes to the bigger picture. It reminds you that even in the midst of struggle, there's growth, there's progress, and there's beauty. Gratitude gives you strength because it shifts your perspective. It helps you focus not on what's missing, but on what you already have. And that's where your power lies. So when life gets hard, take a moment to stop and reflect. What are you grateful for, even now? Let that gratitude fill you with strength, with hope, and with the courage to keep moving forward. Focus on progress, not perfection, because perfection is a myth, and chasing it will only leave you frustrated and stuck. Too many people give up because they think they're not moving fast enough, not doing enough, or not achieving enough. But here's the truth. Progress, no matter how small, is what creates real change. When you're in the thick of a struggle, it's easy to feel like you're not getting anywhere. You're putting in the effort, but the results seem far away. That's when doubt creeps in, whispering that you're failing. But the reality is, every step you take, no matter how small, is getting you closer to where you want to be. Every single effort adds up, even when you don't see the results right away. Instead of focusing on being perfect, focus on getting better. Did you do something today that you couldn't do yesterday? Did you push through when you wanted to quit? That's progress, and progress builds momentum. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't reach the peak in one giant leap. You take it one step at a time, and before you know it, you've made it farther than you ever thought possible. Celebrate those small wins. Appreciate the journey. Progress is what keeps you moving, what keeps you growing, and what eventually gets you to the finish line. Perfection might never come, but progress will always be there, and that's what makes all the difference. The right mindset can turn any challenge into a victory. Life isn't just about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. Two people can face the exact same obstacle, and one will crumble while the other rises. Why? It's all about mindset. When you approach challenges with a defeated mindset, you've already lost before you even begin. You tell yourself it's too hard, that you're not capable, that life is unfair. And guess what? Those thoughts become your reality. But when you shift your perspective and adopt a growth mindset, everything changes. Instead of seeing challenges as problems, you start seeing them as opportunities to learn, grow, and Your mindset is your greatest weapon. It's the lens through which you see the world, and it determines how far you can go. A strong mindset doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It means you'll face them differently. It means you'll look at failure and say, this isn't the end, this is a lesson. You'll look at setbacks and say, this is just a setup for my comeback. So when life gets hard, check your mindset. Ask yourself, am I seeing this as an excuse to quit or a reason to fight harder? Because the way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the life you build. Train your mind to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. And watch how every obstacle becomes a chance to rise. Your story will inspire others. The struggle is part of your legacy. We all go through tough times, and while you may not always see it, your journey is shaping not only your future, but the lives of those around you. You don't realize it yet, but the way you handle your struggles, the way you rise after every fall, and the way you keep going when others might quit, that's the story people need to hear. Your experiences, your hardships, your wins and your losses, they are all part of your narrative. And one day, when someone else is going through their own dark moments, your story will be the spark that lights their way. You will give them hope, show them that it's possible to overcome, and inspire them to keep fighting. The struggle you're facing right now isn't just for you. It's for the people who will come after you, the ones who will hear your story and believe that if you can make it through, so can they. Don't be ashamed of the hard times you've endured. Don't hide your scars. They are the marks of resilience, courage, and strength. Remember, your legacy is not built on your successes alone. It's built on how you rise through adversity, how you continue forward when the odds are stacked against you. Your story will inspire someone else to believe in themselves, to keep going, and to never give up. The struggle isn't just something to endure. It's something that will define you and empower those who follow in your footsteps. So keep going, because your legacy is being written every single day.